All right, so we're back for the sixth episode, I think it is, of documenting the journey. I've just got back from London, so I'm a little bit tired, but it's been a very good trip all in all. There's been some bad moments and some good moments, but I think that's just sort of life, isn't it? Yeah, I think I went over some of the stuff that happened when I did my last episode, so I won't go through everything. But in general, it's been really nice to hang out in London, hang out with some friends, have some good times. And yeah, it's always bittersweet though, because you've got to say your goodbyes as well, which isn't fun. But, there's a reason, I suppose, why I am living where I'm living. The cost of everything is so cheap here in Barcelona to live a really good life, and it allows you to have far more like cash flow and capital to ultimately build your future. And I think that's what you've kind of got to remember when you are, leaving friends and family. It's very strange being an expat in a way, because you do have a sense of guilt sometimes about leaving and coming back and leaving and not ultimately coming back for very long either. Because you've got to do your stuff really, but I think that's just what happens as you go through life, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep this one shorter because I realize the average watch time for these videos is not as long as the videos themselves, which is to be expected, I think, on most videos, but still. So we'll keep this shorter. So what's happened? There's been a few more partnerships made with different agencies, and I'm actually starting to see the benefits of those now, which is really nice. I've partnered with a couple more agencies, and actually I think one of them, they've passed me 2 potential clients, so I've got to close those next week, and that's going to kind of mark, I suppose, the start of me running operations properly in the agency, because right now, I kind of have 2 clients, but it gets much more, let's say, you have to focus much more on how efficiently you're going to run things as it scales and as it grows. So that's kind of what I've been preparing for. That's what I was talking about last week. So documenting the processes of how we run things, potential CRO tests that we can do to make these e-com businesses, and they generally are e-com businesses, more revenue, or increase their average order value, or reduce their bounce rate, loads of different stuff. So I've been working on kind of documenting all of that in Notion. I don't know if any of you guys have used it. It's a really nice tool to kind of make a sort of like a Wikipedia kind of thing for your company. So yeah, all in all, it's going really well. I think I'm going to get my first official new clients next week, but it's all kind of been a process of setting things up and feeling like everything is kind of good to go. I know, everyone around me sort of says, oh, you just got to go and do it. You can't wait around. But I do think some kind of careful planning is good before you just kind of jump into things. So I'm really excited about the weeks ahead. And ultimately, I think, what's it been now? 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks is not a bad amount of lead time to be getting your sort of first clients for a new agency. So I'll be happy about that. To be honest, I was expecting more 12 weeks plus to get the first clients, because I had no idea really about that, how the lead gen would go. And still, I don't know, of course, I've got all this sort of potential promise, all these warm leads now, but who knows whether they're gonna come off. But I'm excited for them to do so, because ultimately I really want to get into the work of doing more CRO stuff, because I really enjoy it. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's basically the update. Of course, it's been a little bit more back and forth because I've been in London, been traveling, doing nice things, just chilling in parks and restaurants, and doing London things. But yeah, I'm back to it now, and I'm really excited, because it's like after a trip, you can always just be like, okay, cool. Now I can stay consistent, stay focused, and ultimately just build that momentum and get things moving. So I'm excited for that. In terms of the life update side of things, I don't really think there's huge amounts to report, because I've said, hey, I've been to London, I've been seeing friends and family. I think the main overarching thing really for me has been just making sure you do keep connecting with friends and family as much as possible. because yeah, it is important. God, I say the same thing every video, don't I? But it is important to maintain those connections, especially if you're an expat or you're someone who is traveling around the world with your work, which I think quite a few people maybe who watching this are. There's a lot of people who are set up in different countries or Dubai, and then therefore they have to kind of country hop quite a lot, or digital nomads, that sort of thing. And it is quite difficult to maintain your connections, and I think I have struggled with that for quite a while. Like, where do I root myself? Where do I plant myself properly? But I think as I meet more people who are doing the same thing as me, I feel less sort of apprehensive, or not apprehensive, but less of a need to actually feel like I'm rooted down somewhere, at least for now, for the next, let's say, 5 years, because, 5 years until 30, I could see myself just sort of doing what I'm doing now, and sort of traveling the world and meeting new people and doing that sort of thing for the next 5 years. I think that sounds quite right to me, but ultimately the reason why I'm doing most of what I'm doing is because I want to ultimately have a place to call my own, and I want to be able to have the capital to start cooler businesses, basically. And by cooler, I mean kind of like world changing in some way. And I know it sounds kind of like grandiose and whatever, and I know everyone wants to sort of change the world with whatever they do, or that kind of thing, but yeah, that's the goal. You've always got to keep aiming higher, which is nice. One thing I am excited, just another tangent, one thing I'm excited to get back into is the gym. I did a couple of workouts while I was in London, but nothing crazy. But now I'm back. I can keep again consistent, and that's going to be really nice, especially going into the winter. I don't know, there's something about training in the winter that I much prefer than the summer. I don't know what it is. It's just, I think, to be honest, it's probably in Barcelona because it's cooler and you can actually do more. You can lift more and endure more, basically, because the heat is really a lot. The gym that I go to is very nice, but for some reason it doesn't have aircon and it's underground, so it can be quite hot. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm trying to keep this one shorter. Is there anything else to say? I don't think so. It's just that I'm extremely grateful for the people in my life at the moment, and I'm extremely grateful for the helping hands that I'm getting from other people who also run agencies right now. It's really, really refreshing and nice to see. Of course, they're getting something from it, and I should actually mention right now, if you do know someone who needs CRO for their e-com store, pass them my way, and you will get a between 10 to 15% commission for as long as they are a client of a monthly fee. So yeah, if you know anyone, pass them my way. And I'm just grateful for those people who really want to help. It's really nice, and vice versa. When I can help them, I will too. And I think that's it's really nice to see that there's sort of like a bit of a community going. I'm sure, well, actually, I know it can get a bit hostile between, like, let's say, agencies that are doing the same thing. Sometimes they're kind of competing, or they're just kind of getting each other's throats. But so far, I haven't really seen too much of that, because I think most people who are running successful agencies, they know there's enough to go around. Of course, the really, really big clients, there's obviously fewer of those, understandable. But in general, I think people realise, hey, look, there is enough to go around. No one needs to kind of fight over clients or whatever it is. It's just kind of silly, really. So anyway, yeah, in general, it's really nice to see. Life is, in general, very good, and just very excited now to push forward properly with momentum, because as if you've watched every one of these so far, you'll know that there's been quite a few little gaps and breaks in the recent month because of traveling and things, but now I have nothing planned, so it's maybe a bit boring, but also very refreshing, because it means I can just get my head down now, get things moving, and that's really good. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.